picture they for Pete's sake. We had a rough enough time the way it was.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We're still recovering.
They
No,
wouldn't
I'm
let me,
kidding,
they
it
wouldn't let
wasn't
me
that
take
bad.
mine. I always break things,
What'd you
so.
do? Oh, I thought maybe you bleeped or
Yeah,
something.
so I'd forgotten that we were taking them today.
Oh, you
No,
didn't
I
wanna-
knew we were, I saw the kids taking them, but. Yeah, that always gets me stirred up a little.
Yeah, definitely a Monday.
That and Halloween.
Yes.
Oh, things going with your new scheduling. Good? Did you have fires to put out or not really?
I think so, you know, our, they're no longer servicing the notes.
Oh, right.
So we're going away from that, and so we're in a
We'll call the meeting to order.
Yeah.
Tom, will you take roll?
Sue's. Marty.
Yeah.
Here.
We're off to a good say, but
Good.
good numbers of children.
Yes.
You know, makes it easy to look at that kid.
We'll stand for pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we get into the meeting, I need to bring your attention to the Open Meetings Act bill up on the wall so you can read that at your leisure. You have your agenda before you and there's no changes, so we'll go to the minutes. Are there any corrections to the minutes of previous meetings? Now we'll go to the treasurer's report. Any questions or comments on the treasurer's report? No questions on the treasurer's report? Go to the presentation of bills. Any questions on the bills?
A lot of them, but that's pretty typical for the start of school year.
Got a question on Guessford, but I called Deb or Chris and she printed out a
Yeah,
copy
was,
of it for
we,
me.
on the, there was a legal issue there on,
Well, they drafted bond or contract. And there were several
yeah.
things. It was, I thought it was just a sheet of paper they sent out, but there were several
Yeah.
other deals on there. So. Okay, any other question on the bills? Not, is there a motion to approve items 1 through 4 as presented? It's been moved by Marty, seconded by Sue. We approve items 1 through 4 as presented. Any further discussion? Not roll call vote on the motion. Sue?
Yes.
Marty?
Yes.
Lonnie?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carried. Communications?
Thank you.
I also got a thank you for Mr. Dennis for the gift we gave him. So I'll pass that around.
And he's nervous tonight at first budget meeting.
Oh, was it?
How did he do?
Oh, yeah.
We'd also gotten that Supreme Court made a decision on that Erickson State Bank lawsuit that we
Yeah.
had. So the Supreme Court denied any further so that unless they can convince the United States Supreme Court to take a shot at it, I'd say that one's over.
Any other communications? Not go patrons' comments or presentations. I'd like to welcome everybody to the board meeting. Now is your opportunity to speak. It's pretty quiet tonight.
Bill, I'd like to note that Vinton was forgotten or neglected this morning for a little over an hour when it came to the pictures. We were supposed to have our kids there at 8:15 this morning. Bus was supposed to be there, haul them to pictures, and it was a little over an hour and a half after that the bus finally showed up. And we'd kind of hoped that this kind of miscommunication or forgetfulness would be a thing of the past. But it's continued, and you know, we can only look back at what has happened in the past and then see this continue on in the future. I'd just kind of advise the board, if they could, you know, communicate with us out there.
I guess I don't.
Well, they had picture day today, and bus came, dropped the kids off, the kids that it picks up, and then it left. And they were supposed to have a bus out there at 8:15 or shortly thereafter to haul the Vinton kids into town to have their pictures taken.
Okay.
So they waited and they waited and they waited, and an hour and a half later the bus finally showed up. So it threw everything, classes and everything else back. But it's, you know, I don't know what the problem was, I don't know where the problem originated, but it's one of those things that you might want to look at and say, maybe we can do better the next time.
So that's kind of more on our end
Okay,
over here.
that works for me too.
Yeah, so
what
I wasn't
happened?
aware of it till tonight.
Okay,
But we'll, you know, I'll check it and we'll see, we'll try to do the best we can. We can't always eliminate all the errors, but.
Well, I understand that.
But we'll, try to see what happened and make sure that we. do
you know, I
better.
kind of hearken back to 3 years ago when the bus left the Vinton kids down at Aubles Pond for Earth Day, when all the rest of the kids were here because it was too cold to be outside. And they left them there for an hour and a half, until finally somebody went to trundle down and get them. Because nobody told us that it wasn't going to be there, nobody told us where it was going to be, and there they sat. So, you know, we kind of got to look back on this and say, you kind of got to get a little more on the ball here.
Okay. Well,
You got 30 kids
Try.
that you leave someplace and you don't know where they're at.
yeah.
Thank
At
you.
least we left them in the classroom this
That's
time.
right, this time.
But I apologize.
Yeah, I didn't know about it, I guess, Steph, so I appreciate you bringing that to our attention. We'll do our best to improve.
Thank you.
It was a planned bus schedule that didn't go as planned on a Monday morning.
Sometimes I,
Anyway,
but I'll check on it.
Okay, any other comments or presentation? Okay, report of standing committees. Sue?
Yeah, we did meet as finance committee about a week ago or so, and Max kind of explained in our pre-hearings and stuff, everything. He did give us packets to look over and some things to look over from 2008, 2009, budget to 2009 to 2010. And we had some questions, and pretty much I think to our knowledge, everything was pretty much clarified with what we had brought up. And as he said earlier, property taxes will be down this year, 43,000, hair over that, which is good for this year. Other than that, Marty?
Well, I know a lot of our questions stem to the code changes
Right,
that the
and
state
that's
is
in Deb can make that
requiring,
difference.
so it switches from one code to another because of the state. So where it showed up last year and then showed a change, a decrease or an increase to this year that was substantial, or it disappeared or it was new, then that every one of those that we looked at, it was either that or else a teaching position that went, you know, from a certain percentage teaching to a lesser or more percentage. So it was, anyway, all the questions that we had on things that jumped out at us were explained. Everything made sense in the end.
As well as it can.